She was told a divorced woman could never be a deaconess. Not in that church, not with that testimony. They didn't care about the bruises beneath her sleeves, just the blemish on her marital record. It's funny how grace flows freely until it meets a woman's broken covenant. Morenike did not leave her marriage lightly. She begged, she prayed, she fasted until her lips cracked. But you see, what do you do when the altar becomes the battlefield? When submission turns to suffocation? The man that she shared vows with also shared fists. Not often, but it was enough to make her question if it was really that bad. So, you know what she did? She covered the scars with silk blouses and Sunday smiles. She wore concealer like an armor, not to enhance her beauty, but to bury her bruises. And every time someone said, "You're such a strong woman of God," she smiled through the silence until she couldn't do that anymore. But you see, when she finally left, she thought that she would find refuge. Instead, she found rejection, a lot of gossip, whispers in pews, uninvited to the women's conference, her mentorship group reassigned. One day, a leader pulled her to the side and said, "Sister Morenike, we love you, but in this church, divorce disqualifies. You can't hold leadership anymore." Morenike smiled, nodded, went home, and screamed into her pillow until her throat went raw. It wasn't because she lost the title, it was simply because she lost a place where she could belong. Now Morenike is 46, back in her mother's house. No husband, no job, no ministry. She still prays, but the words feel stuck. She goes to therapy. She's slowly learning to say abuse without apologizing. She's learning that God isn't silent because he's ashamed. He's just closer than she thought. Not in the pulpit, but in the pit, right there with her. You see, healing for her didn't come wrapped in worship songs. It came in small things. A cold cup of tea, tears in traffic, reading the Psalms out loud with her voice cracking. But slowly, the shame began to lift. And in its place, a quiet authority, not assigned by a title, but anchored in truth. Morenike today still wears long sleeves sometimes, but not to hide. She shows her scars now because healed wounds are a testimony too. And as for being a deaconess, she may not wear that name, but she embodies the calling. Now, to the woman who is starting over, you are not disqualified. And to the church, maybe it's time we stop measuring spiritual maturity by marital status. Because God still calls the bruised. He anoints the broken. And his oil, it flows from crushed